Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play ChäoS Head. In the last episode, against all odds, Takumi Nishijo was restored by Shogun and the other Gigolomaniacs, not to its original form, but an existence far greater than anything than even Genichi no Rosei could have ever imagined. Which only goes to show how terrifying Noah 2 might have been if Genichi had been successful in harvesting Takumi's code sample. But with his newfound abilities and hijacking Genichi's delusions the way that he had done Sua's, Takumi Nishijo was able to cement his existence and overcome the odds, leaving only ruin and destruction in his wake. Genichi no Rosei was defeated and Noah 2 completely and utterly destroyed. But in the end, Takumi Nishijo allowed Rimi Sakihata to end his existence, so that the original Takumi Nishijo, aka Shogun, could remain alive just a little bit longer. But that was because we said no to the final statement, I am Takumi Nishijo, which led us down the path to that particular ending. But the time has come to cement Takumi's existence in its entirety. Indeed, it is as Shogun said, for even though he is a delusionary existence, he is indeed Takumi Nishijo. And the fight went the same way as it did before, leading us back to this darkened ruin of Shibuya.
殺せない。
Except this time, Rimi Sakihata cannot bring herself to do it. Because Takumi Nishijo has accepted himself as Takumi Nishijo. He isn't just a copy of Shogun or a delusionary replica. They are the same existence. And nothing can undo or change that fact. Removing her lips from mine, Rimi spoke painfully. Because to kill one, well, it is actually as Shogun said to Takumi the last time. If Takumi died, Shogun would only live a few more days, if not weeks. But even if Shogun dies, he will live on through Takumi, who has been reborn. Well, it would actually be more fitting to say that Takumi Nishijo is Shogun reborn. He'll be able to live the life that Shogun himself could not.
やっぱりタクを殺せないよ。
Because Takumi Nishijo is the delusion that Shogun wished for, and to murder Takumi would be to destroy Shogun's final wish. The reason I didn't feel any pain was because her sword hadn't been wheel-booted. My body wasn't injured anywhere.
でも消してくれなきゃ。本物の僕が。
The real Shogun, or both of you are technically real. He would die. I was the one who should die. Nothing can stop Shogun from dying now. Not after everything that's happened. And thus we needed to prolong his life, if but a little. That ought to have been Rimi's goal as well, except that was never Shogun's goal.
消して 消すんだ。僕を。
できない。
Rimi's resolve has been shaken to its very core. Rimi gave a small shake of her head. She watched me with wavering eyes.
好きなの。あなたの弱さが好き。弱いくせに、臆病なくせに、ボロボロになって、私なんかを助けに来てくれた。その強さが好きなの。あなたと同じ時間をもっと過ごしたいの。あなたを失いたくない。あなたに生きていてほしい。
You look at me.
僕は化け物なんだ。
私だって同じだよ。
Indeed, for Rimi Sakihata is a real-rooted existence, just like Takumi Nishijo. Is it okay for me to live?
君がそれを選んだなら、生きていていいんだ。
I heard a voice from the sky. And then I knew, because our hearts were directly connected, I sensed it. The fact that his life had disappeared now, in this very instant.
匠が死んだんだね。
He has, and yet he hasn't. Rimi was quick to pick up on the emotion that emerged in my expression. Shogun might be dead, and yet his identity as Takumi Nishijo lives on. After some brief hesitation, I nodded a tiny bit. And of course, Rimi is understandably anguished over the loss of the original Takumi Nishijo. Don't cry. I don't want you to cry. Feeling returned to my body. Warmth returned to me. I was still clumsy. I was still trembling. But I reached toward my heart with my hand, which was now capable of movement, or moving, and took out the vermilion handkerchief. Seems that Shogun gave Takumi the final amount of strength that he needed to pick his life back up. The tears running down your cheek. Those drops, so lovely and clear. I wiped them softly with the memory you gave me. Unfortunately, rebuilding Shibuya isn't going to be so easy as using a delusion to do so. And unfortunately, we don't have a time travel device like the phone wave real name TBA to be able to alter the world line to an event where this never happened.
僕も君は好きです。
None of that matters. Not the devastation of Shibuya, not the death wrought by the new generation madness, or the twisted ambitions of Genichi Narose. Rimi held on to my hand for dear life. And also it's not true that there isn't anyone else alive around here. Yua, Ayase, Kozue, Senna, Momose, and of course, Nanami are all waiting for Takumi's return, as though to ascertain that we were here. Our warmth was contagious. our separate temperatures melted together. The two of us looked up at the sky. As expected, it was covered in rain clouds. But
光は電磁場の波、その振動現象は人の視覚は色として捉える。
indeed,
タク、その言葉は。
words only he and Rimi knew. Words with which he had given Rimi hope. But I knew them too, because I'd seen all his memories. He and I shared the same soul, the same heart. Our memories belonged to both of us. I inherited the memories of the 17 years of life until now. And he had vicariously experienced the memories of my year and a half of life until now.
自分のデッドスポットに望む色を当てはめれば、僕たちのあの空に取り戻せる。
I knew that color, because in an imagined world containing only the sea and the sky, we had looked up at it and burned it into our memories. Blue sky. And lo and behold, the rain abruptly stopped. Clouds vanished instantaneously. It was clearing up. It was coming back. It seemed as though it would draw us in endlessly, covering this world so gently. Blue sky. And I think that was the true ending of ChäoS Head. Not to say that the other ending was a bad ending. There is actually a bad ending in ChäoS Head, but it will take a little bit of work to showcase that ending. And there is also actually one more ending, because the ending that we saw beforehand was actually Route A. This ending's route is called Route AA, or double A. To get the fourth ending, which is Route B and not the bad ending, there is another way to get the bad ending, but I won't go over it just yet. To get the Route B ending, the fourth and final ending of ChäoS Head, we actually had to complete ChäoS Head at least once. And we have to go through the from a new playthrough all over again. But yeah, this time round things worked out. Takumi and Rimi. Shogun will be missed, but Takumi will finally be able to live the life that Shogun could not. And for a small time, Shogun had experienced the life that Takumi had spent in his little shipping container for a very infinitesimal while. Of course, we have the more light-hearted end credit music here, signifying the happier ending. Because Rimi Sakihata and Takumi Nishijo, both delusionary existences real-booted into reality, now have a chance to live. So that was the good ending of ChäoS Head, and when we return, I shall decide whether or not to try and go through the bad ending or the Route B ending, both of which are going to take me a while to go through. But until that point, adventurers, until next we meet.